It hurts to see what they done to my baby right here.
What they do to him?
Make my Zac Efron a killer. You know, he
damn, that's a good likeness.
That is a great likeness. I don't like it though. Because now every time I masturbate to Zac Efron, I'm thinking about Ted Bundy too. It's not right. There's nothing moral about that. Oh, come on, don't act like you didn't know. Well, you know me.
All right, I try to pretend like
Hey, no.
You have been witness to the unspeakable horrors of the defendant's heinous crimes.
My man ain't done nothing to nobody except be kind and fine as But you got to deny, you have to admit, you can't deny that he looks uncannily like Ted Bundy.
Yeah, certainly in those two photos.
This is Zac Efron in the Ted Bundy story that is titled Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile. I believe is what a judge called him during one of the court cases.
Oh, okay.
But not only is this supposed to be something that puts us more in the mind of a very demented killer, Ted Bundy, and the case that's surrounding him, which is almost as insane as he is, due to his nature and what he looked like. Is one of the biggest celebrity trials that we've had out there without him ever having been a big celebrity in the first place.
Right.
But it's supposed to also be something that's, okay, this is finally going to make Zac Efron a legit actor. Now, he's been acting, but he's kind of like, he's that guy that's been, co-starring alongside other people.
Okay.
He still has yet to break out into being leading man, Zac Efron.
I really thought that DJ movie was going to do it for him.
I know, man. Believe me, I prayed. Didn't happen, though.
Are you ready to share him with the world?
Well, that's what we're going to talk about. Because I'll tell you, Martin, if this happens, if this is a big hit for him, if this is something that launches him into leading man or leading actor, Zac Efron, then I will have to let him go. I will lose him to Hollywood and the rest of the world. That's why I'm giving this a fuck you. Before you start. Nah. But because there's a lot of people who have talked about this movie based on the life of Ted Bundy, or at least the case of Ted Bundy, where Ted Bundy, he confessed to killing 30 people. Mm-hmm. And some people say it's probably a lot more than 100.
Yeah.
They don't know. And how did he get away with this for so long? Now, before we get into that, just to give you a hint of what I kind of think about this, I'll tell you right off the bat. There are two kinds of movies. Well, there's more, but there's, these days, there's two big, drastic kind of movies on Netflix. You got one category where Netflix is doing amazing things and they're out there just really kind of redefining how we view movies.
Yeah.
As far as
streaming movies,
streaming movies, and as far as high profile films, something like Roma right here.
Yeah.
That's a movie where it was like, wow, you know what? This is great, and I'm glad Netflix is changing the game with quality entertainment. But somehow, I still feel guilty because I think I should be watching this on a big screen.
Yeah.
I'm not used to watching it this way. More people need to see this, and they need to see it in all its glory. And then you got other movies on Netflix where you're like, no, you belong right there.
Mm-hmm.
You might have some pockets of really greatness in here, but your ass needs to stay right here.
You found your home.
Yeah, and that...
Stop having aspirations.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what this movie is right here. Yeah, and there's still more to talk about. Like, are there pockets of greatness in here? How is Zac Efron's performance? Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for this, and I'll be back with a quick review.
Let me get back to plotting my escape here.
One of the things that people want to know that we'll answer immediately is, what's the performance like with Zac Efron? And Zac Efron he's great in the role because he's not only is he a good actor, man, and I say that unbiasedly. I think he really is a good actor, and this is the one where you can tell that he's just sinking into the role because he's like, this is my shot. This is it. he's having fun with this. I mean, it's about a killer, but
that touches on a question I have. But go ahead.
But no, what's your question? I'll answer. What's up?
Well, watching this trailer, with the down, and the quick cuts and all, it makes it look like it's taking a not all that terribly serious look at this, so like it's making it fun or funny.
Okay.
And I don't think there's anything funny about any of this.
Okay, that's a great question, and I kind of got the same impression looking at this trailer. And as far as performances go, before you even answer that question, there's Lily Collins as his girlfriend, Elizabeth Klupfer. She's great, man.
Yeah, she looks good from these trailers.
Oh no, she's a lot of people looking at Zac Efron because look, here's what happened. Let's cut the bullshit, y'all. Let's be honest. A lot of this movie was getting a lot of attention because one, it's kind of like with Ted Bundy. Zac Efron is in it, and Zac Efron, everybody's rooting for him because he's handsome as and the movie played at Sundance, and the movie was well marketed at Sundance to the point where people were trying to get into a party just because Zac Efron was there.
Oh,
because
okay.
people are shallow, which is something the movie kind of touches on. But yeah, the movie, so it was this big breakout thing at Sundance, all because of marketing, all because they had a big party that was notorious and had a lot of news. People couldn't get in, and that's why this movie right here, I believe a lot of people are talking about right now.
Okay.
There's a few other things, but a lot of people are talking about this film.
Well, Ted Bundy's just been kind of back in the news and trending lately.
Yeah. Well, I think kind of because.
You think it's because of this movie?
Yeah. Well, like I said, this played at Sundance.
Okay.
A lot of people talked about it.
I thought the movie came about because of people talking about Ted Bundy again.
It could be. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So it could be, but. You got some great performances in here. Now, that being said, whatever I'm saying, right, that's the feeling I got. I can't even say for sure, but because a lot of people, when they saw the movie, they were like, "All right, look, calm your ass down," because you're trying to get into a room so you can look at Zac Efron from across the hall. Come on, shut up. But he is great. He is great. And as far as that trailer goes, looking more like a comedy.
Yeah.
That trailer doesn't really reflect the movie completely.
Okay.
Now
good.
to address what you're saying, yes, that is a great point, and it's a great question because the movie does play more on the charms of Ted Bundy, but I think they're doing that on purpose because that's what Ted Bundy did.
Right.
I would prefer not to see some reenactments of murders that nobody saw.
Yeah.
What Ted Bundy did, Ted Bundy went out there and he flirted with everybody, the public, the cameras and everybody dropped their drawers, man. Ted Bundy was somebody who he knew how to work his looks. He knew how to work his personality. And that is what he used to actually go out there and charm the public and try to use that to his benefit. He was such a manipulator that he thought he could manipulate the courts.
Yeah.
And so that's what the movie's doing. They're kind of showing you this from his point of view and also from what it was like to be living at the time that Ted Bundy was in the news.
Okay.
So, but some people are saying, well, he's a monster. Well, it's like, yeah, but that was the point. No one ever saw that side, which is why he probably got away with it for so long.
Yeah.
This guy who's a photogenic, handsome, 30-something white male. No one was. People fought hard to suspect that he was ever doing this.
Well, because the villains in media stuff are always painted as ugly.
Yeah.
So the handsome ones can just get away with it for a while.
Yeah, they're ugly, they're minorities or whatever. It's like so. This was trying to give you that image right there, and like I said, that's what he did at the time to his advantage. But the problem with the movie is that there are so many good things in it. It's just not. It just feels like they don't flow together well. I'll tell you what this movie feels like, because it has TV quality to it, almost like slightly above.
Yeah.
You know how Breaking Bad. Look, I'll tell you. Like, let's put it this way: you love Breaking Bad.
Sure.
I love Breaking Bad. Do you want to see Breaking Bad the way it's shot on a big screen? It's like, no, I'll watch this shit at home.
Yeah.
It does. It tells the story well and doesn't. It tells it well enough that they don't have to do anything fancy. That's kind of what this feels like. It feels like like a AMC an AMC series or something.
Okay.
But it feels like they took the series and cut it out so they could cut out a large chunk so it could fit within an hour and 40 something or hour and 50-minute movie. So it feels like, it's just it's not flowing together very well. It feels like a little incoherent.
And then this happened, and then this happened.
Yeah, it's the movie plays in chunks, which is too bad because there are really some great things in this film. The way he just dogs this girl out, man. That's why her performance is so well. She is so good. I mean, there are certain things that they do well in the movie to actually make you, to put you in the role where it's like, even for a while before you, like, if you don't go into this not reading about Ted Bundy, because you'd be like, well, maybe he didn't do it. Don't do that shit. Because you think like, man, how could people fall for this with him? And it's like, man, you can say all you want to, man. Shit, you won't pull that on me. It's just like, shit. You be out there helping him bury a body if you ain't careful. They do a great job of showing you how he works his way into people's lives. He smiles. He knows how to make conversation. And with this woman especially, he knows just the right things to say. Are you not scared of me because I have a child? Why would I do that? I'm not leaving you. She wakes up in the morning. She runs out, scared her kid been kidnapped by him. He's in there with an apron on, making breakfast, entertaining the child. He knows exactly what to do, and you can't sit up here and say that not all these people were stupid. They do a good job at projecting that, or portraying that. Those moments of drama are great. Those moments of manipulation are great. But then it loses kind of its tone. While they had these moments of great drama, and there are natural funny scenes in here. I mean, listen. You got a dude, like, because this is another thing that's great, because it turns into a court drama at some point, which, again, it doesn't naturally kind of flow into. But they have these courtroom scenes where they are fascinating because, again, this is where it goes where Ted Bundy's so, like, shit, everybody love old Ted. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to prove to you how people love me. I'm going to put on this big-ass ventriloquist dummy tie. I'm going to go to court, fire my lawyer, because he impresses the lawyer one time. And I think the lawyer was gaming his ass because the lawyer was cool, played by John Malkovich. John Malkovich, who was great in his role.
You mean the judge?
As a judge over the case. Yeah, he plays a judge that's over the case. And he just looks at him, and I think he gamed his ass because first of all, he's going to let him know, look, I ain't charmed by your ass. He keeps saying, oh, look at you. Bless your heart. You playing lawyer. but before he did that, he actually looked at Ted Bundy and he gamed his ass. He's like, well, I have to say, that's mighty impressive, Ted. Now, don't take it too far. I'm not letting you know how far you're gone. But you have the markings of a good lawyer there. And Ted was just like, you hear that? Get the out. I got this case.
Oh, no.
Anyway, Judge. And that's when the judge is like, okay, don't point your finger at me. He's like, all right, let the show begin. And he went in there, and Ted Bundy flaunted himself so much because he thought there's so many young girls in court. There's so many people who are falling for my charms that I'm going to dress ugly. I'm going to go in there and put on a show, and everybody's going to actually adore me. Those things, when you see those kind of things, those are amazing. And they're funny because you see a guy whose cockiness is slowly working against him, and you see him unravel before he does. That is natural comedy that fits the tone of this.
Okay.
They got some scenes in there where it just feels like it's a sitcom. It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
The way Ted Bundy escapes in one of the scenes in the movie.
When I saw that scene there, I was like, all right, I don't care for this tone, for this subject matter.
Well, it's because the deputy who's over court, he's distracted by a girl who they are doing some of the most cartoonish shit with this. It's almost like her fingers just tangled up in her hair. She can't pull it out. She's just constantly twirling her hair. And the deputy's like, hey, so let me tell you about my job. Saw these people at a record store trying to run. I had to pull out my weapon right here. That's my gun. And I had to almost blast them, and it's like, and the whole time, even Zac Efron was like, is this the same movie? I'm getting out this shit. He jumps out the window, and I'm just kind of like, that's the comedic tone that doesn't fit for a subject matter like this.
Yeah.
And they do that a couple of times. Not throughout the movie, but it's like, that doesn't fit the tone. Now, maybe if we had seen this character a little bit more or whatever, that's where it feels like it's something cut out here. Because I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, because that kind of thing, it works when it's the movie's about a criminal who's a thief. Because you're like, well, it's certainly theft isn't a victimless crime, but nobody got hurt or killed.
Yeah.
But at a point, we're talking about several innocent people getting murdered.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, man, you know, it's they do a great job at showing you how he's portraying himself more as something you can deny a little bit easier, like somebody who's just a cheater. Like you can tell that this woman, she's kind of played by Lily Collins, that she's kind of got low self-esteem and she's weak, and she probably is just saying like, oh, he's cheating on me, but hey, he's handsome. As long as he comes back home.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way he comes across. Little do we know that in reality he's out there actually murdering people.
Why did she pick you out of the lineup?
My lawyer found out that the police showed him that picture beforehand. Do you see that car out there? It's been following me since I got back.
You know, it's and I won't tell you who's following him in the car, but one of the things that is again fascinating, that he starts to believe his own lies.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good at it. They do a great job at making you feel how people are around somebody who was a master manipulator. And they also they go in, and the rest of the cast is really cool too. I mean, there's a lot of people in this movie, like Haley Joel Osment, even James Hetfield from Metallica's in it.
Oh, okay.
Got a small role. Jim Parsons is in this, who plays a lawyer. You know, there's a lot of great performances in here, and there's a lot of great actors in here. And I wish that this could have been something that would, you know, carried the weight of the cast that it has, because it is a great cast. You say, but oh, you know what? You're talking about how great Zac Efron is and how great it is to see how this man was and how he manipulated people. And that was great up until the movie did something to itself.
Oh no, because you had me ready to watch this.
And I'm not saying don't. But what this actually did was this made me look at the whole case and be so interested in it. And I was like, you know what? I'm already kind of okay. This is good. This makes me want to actually watch like a documentary or something.
Yeah.
And then they start showing me real footage at the end of the movie from newsreels. Because one of the things that was fascinating in the movie, I was like, wow, man, I really love how they show just how human beings ain't shit, man. We are just followers.
Yeah.
We will follow anything that looks like it's bigger than us, including celebrity.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things that frustrated me with this movie, that they showed the court being full of young women. But then, you know, they do some things in the movie where they start showing you real footage, which made me go look at real footage. And I'm like, well, they just kind of recreating things that seem like more interesting in real life. Unless you just want to watch where they fill in the gaps with, like, you know, movie making.
Yeah.
But like one of the scenes that fascinated me was seeing real women in court kind of in love with Ted Bundy, man. And because they're so attracted to him, they can't even explain why they're in love with a killer.
Every time he turns around, I kind of get that feeling, oh no, you know, he's gonna get me next, you know.
But yet you're fascinated by him.
Very.
You know, it's
Very.
like, Jesus, man. And there are more where people are just like, I don't know what it is about him. I'm just drawn to him. And I'm just like, well, y'all ain't shit.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus. Y'all hope I hope you ever get the feeling where it's like, I don't want nobody to die, but I hope you get the grief and pain that some of these people got. And you over here with Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible what he did, but I want to get that dick. You know, shut the fuck up. Bitches out here in this courtroom doing that. I hate people like that. I mean, hate's a strong word.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
You know
They were the same way with Richard Ramirez.
Richard Ramirez, yeah.
He's so handsome, though, and misunderstood, and I want to marry him.
You know what? How come he can't kill people like them?
He was trying.
yeah, you know.
He just got caught.
He was killing women who wanted to live. And meanwhile, you know, these women want to die for the dick. You know, it's this, man. You know, and it really made me depressed. But I looked at that and I was like, that's fascinating. So then when they start showing footage of Ted Bundy, and I was like, man, this is a great performance that Zac Efron is doing. But
it's not Ted Bundy.
No, it's not Ted Bundy. And one of the things that I'm going to criticize this movie for is that it's almost hesitant to show Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy. What am I? Forrest Gump or something? And then I met Ted Bundy. He seemed like a nice guy. And boy, was he good looking.
He kept dropping his knife, so I picked it up for him.
But this movie didn't seem to have, just for the sake of dramatization, they wanted to push the handsome, charismatic Ted Bundy. And they recreated scenes in the movie where that's how Zac Efron plays him.
Yeah.
Now, Zac Efron's doing what he's directed to do.
Right.
But it needed to be seen that Ted Bundy, because what they do is they show you, first of all, they get some scenes right. Like when he's showboating, when he gets cameras in front of him, right in front of a sheriff that's been trying to have authority over him. And Ted Bundy is just, he's such a narcissist, man, that he just, when he sees the camera, he's like, hey, it's showtime. It's all me.
You told him that you were going to get me. He said he was going to get me, okay? You've got the indictment. It's all you're going to get. 3 counts, attempted murder in the first degree. Design or intent to affect the death of...
You see, even when the guy's talking, he's just like, what's up, y'all?
No, yeah.
That was something that was kind of done right, but there's a lot of moments in the movie where you feel like they're just not capturing the insanity of Ted Bundy. And they did one recreation of an interview, and the way Zac Efron played it, he played it kind of straight. What are we talking about? The time that I stole a comic book when I was 5 years old? I'm not guilty of these crimes. What he left out was all the insane laughing in between, because that's what, if you watch what Zac Efron does, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a great piece of acting. They didn't capture. I looked at that and I was like, I cannot laud this performance as much as I was before, because you're telling a lie. This guy was not that much of a charmer. He might have fooled people back then, but he's not this charismatic guy that Zac Efron is portraying him to be. He is fucking insane.
I think I stand about as much chance of dying in front of a firing squad in a gas chamber. I'm not guilty.
They left all that Charles Manson laughing out of there.
Yeah.
I was like, I think you're doing what like Time Magazine did with what's his name? Ramirez, is that
Richard Ramirez?
No, it was a Boston bomber.
Yeah, the Boston bomber. Yeah.
Like,
you mean Rolling Stone?
Yeah, Rolling Stone. Yeah, where the media takes it and makes to make a good story that a lot of people click onto. They almost sanitize the character, or not the character, but this they sanitize this person, this real life person, to be a character that will sell based on their looks because they know that people are into it. And I felt like kind of like that's what the movie's doing. This guy's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
Put that in there. Yeah, I want to see this. And I was just kind of like, all right, there's still great moments in it, but given that this is something that I definitely don't feel like I would watch at a theater, because I would recommend watching it at a theater, because it's just not made that well. I can't. This brings it down lower for me.
Yeah, I gotta say, you put me in a position where I don't know what to do, because I wasn't all that interested in it, because I didn't want to play into Ted Bundy fever. You say a lot of good things that make me go, well, I would like to see that and those scenes, but where you end it with it, it sounds like you're bringing up it doing the thing that I really didn't want.
There's one last scene in this movie. For all the things that got wrong, it was a powerful scene. Okay. I'm like, now this is worthy of cinema right here. It's between Lily Collins and Zac Efron. Mm-hmm. And by the end of that, I was like, whoa, there's a lot of complaints I have with this. There's a lot of good things in here that I applaud. But that right there, if you're going to end it, that's the perfect place to end it right there. It was a very powerful end. Okay. There's a scene in here where, and this is what I hate in movies, where dogs sense evil.
It works out in Terminator.
Yeah, in Terminator. Okay, that's a goddamn android from the future, or a cyborg from the future. This is the true story of Ted Bundy. They go to adopt a dog, and Ted Bundy kneels down at that cage and looks at that dog, and that dog is like, evil! Evil! I was like, man, come on. Now that's movie stuff. Yeah. That's one of the things I didn't like, man. But yeah, it's when I say perfect for where it is right there, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Netflix, watch it, man. If it gets to a point where it seems like, okay, this is not for me based on the subject matter and how they handle it, you can cut it off. I did think it was worth watching all the way through, and they did some great things in there. They also did some things to actually take away from that. Yeah. A lot. But, and they really undercut the drama by making it so choppy. But other than that, it's not terrible, man. I would say a rental, and you already got it on Netflix, so that's exactly where it should be.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So if you watch, I'd be curious to see what you think, because I see you had the same trepidations that I did going into it. But I would have gave it probably a full price that I got into the party at Sundance, but y'all that up, didn't you?
Wow. So okay, I was complaining about South by Southwest, but I guess Sundance is doing it too.
Yeah. I bet you let me in next time.
Look at all these people we had to turn away, huh?
No.
Huh?
Yeah,
okay.
Don't fall for that, man. Thanks for watching, everybody. You're always welcome here. But if you're coming back, you might as well hit that subscribe button. And if you really love what we do, check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll find a long-form version of this video, unedited, uncensored, and also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us at btmerch.com. And remember to always stay toasty.